Welcome back to my channel. Have you ever wondered what really fueled the flames of history's most famous love stories? Maybe you've heard tales of star-crossed lovers or legendary couples whose bonds seemed unbreakable. But have you ever delved deeper into the burning question of how their love really started? Well, today we are pulling back the curtain to expose the raw passion and lust that ignited some of the world's most enduring romances. These are famous love stories that you probably know. And while they may appear as epic tales of romance and devotion, there's often more to the story. Join us as we uncover the steamy secrets and shocking revelations that'll leave you questioning everything you thought you knew about love, lust, and the famous faces that history has immortalized for us. This video is your ticket to a scandalous journey through time where we separate the myth from the reality, exposing the desires that drove these famous couples to the heights of passion. From forbidden romance to unexpected unions, no love story is off limits as we explore the sizzling details that made them famous. Get ready to be shocked, surprised, and maybe even a little bit envious as we reveal the steamy truths behind some of the most famous love stories in history. Now, let's get started. Cleopatra and Mark Antony. Their love was the stuff of legends, a passionate romance between the Egyptian queen and the Roman general that defied societal norms and set the stage for one of history's most infamous love triangles. But what really sparked the flames between Cleopatra and Mark Antony? Was it pure love or something more primal, something more lustful? Let's dive deeper into the scandalous tale of Cleopatra and Mark Antony, two names synonymous with love, lust, and betrayal. Cleopatra, the last active ruler of the Ptolemaic kingdom of Egypt, was renowned for her intelligence, beauty, and magnetic charm. Mark Antony, on the other hand, was a prominent general and politician from Rome, known for his military prowess and insatiable appetite for pleasure. When their paths crossed, it was clear that there was an undeniable spark between them. However, their love story wasn't a fairy tale. It was a tempestuous journey marked by passion, deceit, and ultimately tragedy. The initial encounter between Cleopatra and Mark Antony is shrouded in mystery, but rumors abound of a chance meeting at a party hosted by Roman dignitaries. The two were instantly drawn to each other, Cleopatra captivated by Antony's charisma and power, while Mark Antony was mesmerized by Cleopatra's allure and exotic charm. However, their burgeoning romance was threatened by the disapproval of Cleopatra's sister, Arsinoe IV, who sought to keep the Egyptian throne within the family. To secure his love, Mark Antony pledged undying devotion to Cleopatra, bestowing upon her the title Queen of Kings. Together, they ruled over a vast empire that stretched from the Nile to Rome. Their union sent shockwaves throughout the ancient world, challenging the boundaries of love, lust, and political ambition. Yet the road to true love was never smooth. Cleopatra and Mark Antony's relationship faced numerous obstacles, including the disapproval of Octavian, Mark Antony's rival and future emperor of Rome, who saw Cleopatra as a threat to his power. The ensuing conflict culminated in the famous Battle of Actium in 323 BC, where Cleopatra and Mark Antony's navies clashed with Octavian's forces. Despite their valiant efforts, the Egyptians were defeated, forcing the couple to flee to Alexandria. Facing defeat, and with Octavian's armies closing in, Cleopatra and Mark Antony's relationship reached a tragic end. Consumed by despair, they both took their own lives, leaving behind a legacy of love and loss that continues to resonate through the ages. Romeo and Juliet. No love story has captured the hearts and minds of audiences like Romeo and Juliet. The tale of these star-crossed lovers whose untimely demise serves as a timeless testament to the power of love and the consequences of unchecked hatred. But what many do realize is that beneath the surface of this seemingly idyllic romance lies a tale of lust, obsession, and the dangers of unrequited desire. Romeo Montague and Juliet Capulet, two young lovers from feuding families in Verona, Italy, found themselves irresistibly drawn to each other despite the bitter rivalry that separated them. Their chance meeting at a masked ball sparked an immediate connection, but their burgeoning romance was threatened by the deep-rooted animosity between their families. Determined to be together, Romeo and Juliet defied the odds and exchanged vows in a secret ceremony, hoping that their love would bridge the divide between their feuding houses. However, tragedy struck when Romeo, in a fit of rage, killed Juliet's cousin, Tybalt, and was banished from Verona. Heartbroken and desperate to be reunited with her lover, Juliet sought the help of Friar Lawrence, who concocted a plan to reunite the couple. But a series of unfortunate events led to Romeo's tragic demise. Believing his beloved Juliet to be dead, consumed by grief, Romeo took his own life, only to discover that Juliet was merely sleeping. In a moment of despair, Juliet awoke to find Romeo dead. Unable to bear the thought of living without him, she followed him into death's embrace. Their tragic tale left a lasting impact on those around them, serving as a catalyst for reconciliation between the Montague and Capulet families. Now, let's talk about King Henry VIII. King Henry VIII, the iconic monarch of England during the 16th century, was known for his 6 wives and his tumultuous love life. Among his many romantic conquests, Anne Boleyn stands out as one of the most enigmatic and controversial figures. Their love story is a fascinating blend of passion, betrayal, and political intrigue. Henry VIII's infatuation with Anne began when he first set eyes on her during one of her attendance at the French court. Captivated by her wit and charm, Henry decided to bring Anne back to England and make her a member of his court. As their relationship blossomed, Henry became increasingly enamored with Anne, showering her with gifts and affection. He even went so far as to break away from the Roman Catholic Church and establish the Church of England, all to secure an annulment from his first wife, Catherine of Aragon, whom he had married for over 20 years. Determined to marry Anne, Henry's obsession with her grew, but so did the pressure on Anne to produce a male heir. When she gave birth to a daughter, Elizabeth, Henry's patience wore thin, and he began to look for a new bride. Accused of adultery and treason, Anne was arrested and subsequently beheaded in 1536. The once adored and influential queen had met a tragic end, leaving behind a legacy of scandal and intrigue. Henry VIII wasted no time in moving on, and soon married one of Anne's ladies-in-waiting, Jane Seymour, who finally gave him the son he so desperately desired. But Henry's romantic escapades didn't end there. He went on to wed 4 more times, cementing his reputation as the ultimate love-hungry monarch. Elizabeth Taylor and Richard Burton. The love affair between Elizabeth Taylor and Richard Burton was a whirlwind romance that captivated the world's attention. These 2 Hollywood icons were known for their sizzling chemistry both on and off the screen. But what really ignited the flames of their passionate romance? Was it just a case of 2 stars aligning, or was there more to their love story than met the eye? Elizabeth Taylor, with her stunning violet eyes and classic Hollywood glamour, was already a movie legend by the time she met Richard Burton, a charismatic Welsh actor known for his intense performances. Their paths first crossed during the filming of the 1963 blockbuster Cleopatra, where they played the titular queen and her lover, Mark Anthony. Despite the film's production troubles and Burton's notorious womanizing, sparks flew between the 2 actors, setting the stage for one of cinema's most talked about love affairs. As the cameras stopped rolling, Burton and Taylor couldn't seem to take their eyes off each other. They were spotted enjoying romantic dinners, attending parties together, and vacationing in luxurious resorts. Their love story was the epitome of a Hollywood romance, or so it seemed. Beneath the surface of their passionate romance, cracks began to show. Burton's infidelities caught up with him and Taylor's trust was broken. Despite their best efforts to reconcile, the couple eventually divorced in 1974. However, their story doesn't end there. Taylor and Burton were drawn back to each other like magnets and remarried in 1975 in a surprise ceremony. Unfortunately, their second marriage was equally tumultuous, and they divorced again in 1976. Throughout their tempestuous relationship, both actors gave unforgettable performances, leaving an indelible mark on the film industry. Their love story, though passionate and intense, ultimately ended in heartbreak. Marilyn Monroe and the Kennedy brothers. Marilyn Monroe, the iconic Hollywood actress, was a sex symbol and cultural icon who dazzled audiences with her comedic timing and captivating screen presence. Her untimely death in 1962 left the world shocked and mourning the loss of a true legend. But what many don't know is that beneath the glitz and glamour, Marilyn Monroe had a secret love affair with President John F. Kennedy and his younger brother, Robert F. Kennedy. The Kennedys were a powerful political dynasty, and their encounters with Marilyn Monroe added a scandalous twist to her already colorful love life. Marilyn's relationship with John F. Kennedy began during his presidential campaign in 1960 when she performed at a fundraising event for Democratic Party. The 2 were immediately drawn to each other and began a passionate affair that lasted for several months. However, as John F. Kennedy's presidency continued, the risks of maintaining a relationship with the famous actress became too great. The White House attempted to distance themselves from Marilyn, effectively putting an end to their romance. Undeterred by her failed relationship with the president, Marilyn turned her attention to his younger brother, Robert F. Kennedy, who was serving as his attorney general. The two began a secret affair that was kept under wraps for years. But as Robert F. Kennedy's political career began to take off, the press started to catch wind of the scandalous trip. To protect his reputation, Robert ended the relationship with Marilyn, leaving her heartbroken once again. Despite the pain and heartbreak she endured, Marilyn Monroe remained a beloved icon, and her legacy continues to live on through her films and enduring image. But what really fueled the flames of her love story with the Kennedy brothers? Was it genuine affection, or was there something more primal, something more lustful behind their passionate encounters? Only time and imagination can tell. Let me know which celebrity love story intrigues you the most. Share your thoughts below. That's all for now. See you next time.